young people to get involved in these particular movements and how much you can control of that. And then you have to have those conversations based on the reality, not based on wishful thinking, because otherwise, despite the eloquent conversations and speeches and pleas, you end up with this kind of a situation. This is serious.
And they were very adamant about the outside agitator narrative, that these were outside agitators that came in and caused this trouble. And I think we were all sort of sitting here listening to what they're saying, but it didn't seem to really be playing out in reality. And now today, clearly, we see that that is not the reality. Why did they cling to that narrative so strong?
Because their hope was that they could, through their conversation and through information in their conversation, they could make the Baltimoreans who may get involved in this kind of activity feel like they were above this. But as I said the other night, the conversation you're holding are with people sitting home watching the television and watching the news, and not the young people who are sitting at school. You had them in school today. That, if that is your narrative, then that's where you carry it. Because I don't know how we don't get this by this particular point, that the people who we need to engage the most in regard to getting involved in these situations where they can escalate, and they could escalate into somebody's child being hurt tonight. Because as I said, at some point they're going to restore order by any means necessary, but that narrative has to be taken to those people. You can't do press conferences from City Hall and have that done. And the reason why I'm adamant about that, and it's not a political statement, the reason I'm adamant about that is because we're looking at this disaster now that is taking place.
And now we see more people running in the direction of that, just down the street, the check cashing place.
This is on North Avenue.
And people going in through the front.
How long will, in your estimation, how long is it likely police will remain out in this region of the city? How necessary will it be for police to remain out here through the night?
Well, this is long term right here, because it's spreading throughout the city, and this is why I'm continuing to suggest that you're going to have to bring some other entities in relatively quickly. Baltimore City, with their command staff and even with the assistance of surrounding agencies who also have to police their counties. They can't send you their entire police department from Anne Arundel or from Baltimore County. Cannot police this entire city. And again, you are near Mondawmin Mall. You are now it's spreading out into other areas. And you're going to have some assistance from some other agencies. And I just want to emphasize, you're going to have to move with a sense of urgency, not in chaos, but with a sense of urgency. I don't know what jurisdiction, what state jurisdiction is that far away from here, till we cannot show a presence. I'm not suggesting that these young people should be physically harmed, but I'm saying that for most of these young people and the people now deciding to take advantage of this particular situation, a presence would disperse a great deal of this.
And you're saying the city needs to get on top of this quickly and not simply have to respond to what's going on.
The city, the state, I mean, this is a national and international story. Right now, the mayor is part of the story. She is not completely the story. We have we should be seeing and hearing from those particular people and telling us what their plan is. Because as we sit here and as the citizens sit here and watch us this evening, they don't know what the plan is for regaining control of this. And people who are sitting in their homes who may go out and participate in this, young people who are watching this, need to know that something is coming to stop this. So do not go out and participate in this other than the tweet. The tweet is a wonderful thing from the Baltimore City Police Department, but you need to make it clear to people, do not expand this.
Well, just as we look at the aerial shot there, we saw people smashing the front window of that check cashing place and going in. And when we saw the aerial shot, we saw no police presence around them. Now, of course, we're back on the ground here looking live, and you see the police line, and then you see people moving off in the distance in front of the police line. But just it's very telling when you see that check cashing place or the CVS, and from our vantage point, we don't see law enforcement. All we see is the looting and the window smashing, and that speaks to a situation out of control.
Yeah, to kind of recap for folks, just to let you know, if you're just joining Fox 45, maybe around 3:30 this afternoon, Baltimore police were dispatched around Mondawmin Mall. A large number of young people had gathered. It initially appeared like there was some reaction to the funeral services of Freddie Gray, although the Gray family has stated explicitly they didn't want any violence happening. And what you've seen are kind of waves and droves of people smashing, throwing things at police, moving through Northwest Baltimore, now down to North Avenue. A total of some 7 police officers have been hurt in all of this. One was knocked unconscious. There were broken bones involved in all of this. An MDT, a police car set on fire, a van set on fire, at least 2 city police cars, Jennifer, that you and I have seen and Dr. Powers has seen have been vandalized. So this really has gotten out of hand.
And there are people in their homes now who are in